Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. We have the post-game show right now. It's game number 32, Montreal in Minnesota, and they lost in overtime, like with seconds to go in overtime. Pretty sad. Let's see. Let's see what the time was. Yeah, 5 seconds left in the overtime. So that means we go another year without a win against the Wild. It's been a long time since we beat them. So not great. I've got the stats from the game, 3 stars. And what else I got? We'll talk about it. I can't really break down this game that much because we had a guest in the with us, and we did a lot of talking, and I didn't see all of this game. So we'll talk about it. Let's see who's here. If you are here, please say hi, and let's talk in the chat. Andre, welcome back, Andre. Guru, welcome back. Closer game than I thought it would be. Maybe next time. No, I figured it would be close. I had it 3-2 for Montreal. It was 4-3 in overtime, so it was pretty close. Hey, Deuce. Great effort by the Habs, but how did they let Kaprizov go right in front of the net in the dying seconds? He absolutely cannot be left open there. You got to remember, though, that's 3-on-3 overtime, right? It's easier to, there's a lot more room out there, so it's easier for that to happen. If it was 5-on-5, yeah, okay, but I mean, a 3-on-3. But yeah, I mean, you're right. He was left there. Perfect pass across the crease or the slot anyway, and he had an open net. And a player like Kaprizov should not miss on an open net. What was that? 4-3 road trip, 3-4 on the road trip. Not bad. I predicted 3 of 4 points, you're saying. Okay, yes. I'm sorry. I was not understanding for a sec there. I mean, tomorrow they got a good chance still to win tomorrow, even though they played tonight. I don't know if Chicago did. There's a lot of teams out playing tonight, so maybe they're both on back-to-backs. That might help, but I still think they can beat Chicago. So, and then after that, it gets tougher. They're going to have some tough games. So yeah, good that they got a point. I would have preferred that extra point, but it doesn't really matter in the long run, and that's the way it is. Hey, Matt Outdoor. So yeah, okay, so let's take a look and see the goal scorers and all the stats from the game. Oop, I almost pressed the wrong thing. All right, so it was 4-3. Oops, let's go there. First period, Matt Boldy opens the scoring on a power play goal, 13-19 into the first from Kaprizov and Rossi. Then Rossi would get the second goal. It was about a little over a minute and a half later from Bogosian and Foligno. By the way, that was Boldy's 9th and Rossi's 11th. David Savard would make it 2-1 in the second period, 8-17 in from Caulfield and Suzuki. No power play there. Third period, Suzuki would get a power play goal at 1:09 into the third period from Slavkovsky and Matheson. It was Suzuki's 9th. By the way, Savard's 2nd. Is it Brett Faber? Would get his second goal, power play goal. 7.5 minutes later, Kaprizov and Rossi. So Kaprizov and Rossi getting some points here. Slavkovsky would get his third goal basically off of his nuts and then hit a Wild player and into the net. So, and that's from Savard and Matheson. That was at 16:57 of the third period. That would tie it up. They would go to overtime. They would start the overtime period on the PK. The Habs would. It was 4-on-3. But they would kill that off. And with 5 seconds left, Kaprizov gets his 11th goal from Johansson and Faber. And just 5 more seconds, they would have gone to the shootout. But I'm not a big fan of the shootout anyway. Let's look at the stats. Shots were 25 for Montreal, 24 for Minnesota. They just edged Minnesota at the dot, 50.9% to 49.1%. Habs were 1 for 5 on the power play, and the Wild were 2 for 6. Let's see what counts. Hits, 17 hits for them, 13 for us. 14 block shots for them, 11 for us. They had 12 giveaways, we had 6, and they had 8 takeaways, and we had 2. So, yeah, I mean, it was still a close game here. Rossi gets the first star, 1 goal, 2 assists. Faber gets the second star, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Kaprizov gets the third star for the winner in overtime, 1 goal, 2 assists. That doesn't make any sense. Kaprizov should have the first star there. Yeah, somebody made a mistake putting that in. All right, those were the stats from the game. It was a close game. Could have gone either way, obviously, when you go to overtime like that. Montreal did have to come back to tie it up to get to overtime, so good on them. They're on the road. Their road record, I guess, goes to it was 7-6, so I guess 7-6-1. I guess. Hey Joe, welcome back. Slav is coming along just fine. And listen, the points are starting to come now. So that line's really clicking and the points are starting to come. So I think we're going to see some good games from that line and some good numbers too from them, which is, about time. And, Slav could still end up with 40 points this season, which I think would be great if he'd get that. So we'll see how that goes. But the point is that, Slav did not need to go to Laval, and he's doing just fine and developing really nicely now. And the funny thing is, as much as social media and stuff was full of Slav got to go to Laval, what's wrong with Slav? Slav sucks. He's a bust. None of that anymore. None of that. And oddly, everyone believed in Slav now. Everybody. Oh, yeah, I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, right. Not saying you guys here, but on Twitter, I'm talking about mostly. Refs were horrible tonight, same as every night. But yeah, they were horrible. No call on Matheson getting high stick, but they call cross-checking on Caulfield for basically nothing. That was a weak call. That was a weak call, that cross-check. To me, anyway. Laval talk's done for Slav. He is an NHLer. He has arrived. He's not fully arrived by any means yet, but he's arrived as an NHL player. And not even more than that. He's playing well. And that line's really clicking. The chemistry is there. It's fun to watch them play. Joe, it'll happen. But, there's teams. Every team has that player that kills them or that team that they just can't beat or really have difficulty beating. Minnesota's been that team for Montreal, and that's all there is to it. I don't think anything more than that. Hey, Paulie, the penalties were bad, yes. But, I mean, that's it's kind of normal now, right? Every game, the refs suck, And yet, we still had 5 power plays. But, anyway, it's unexplained. It's unexplainable. I don't know how to explain that. It's the ref phenomenon in the NHL. The phenomenon is that they ref like that and still have jobs. That's amazing. Anyway, it is what it is. Game's over. We got a point at least out of it. For the Expos, it was the Houston Astros. I don't remember that. I saw them play the Astros at least twice that I can remember. Probably 3 times that I saw the Expos versus the Astros. I think they won 2 out of those 3, but I know they had 2 wins. So I don't remember if the Astros always had our number or not, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think of the team that I'm trying to think about that for the Expos. It's been so long ago. Yeah, honestly, one of the first games that I saw as an adult when I started to, because I took a few years off in the 70s of following the Expos, but I started to follow them again in 79. And one of the first games I went to, I believe, was against the Astros. And I think it went to extra innings and we won in like the 10th inning. I think it didn't go to too many extra innings, but I think it was the 10th or 11th inning we won. That's what I remember. For the Owls, it's the BC Lions, yeah, but it's the CFLs. Really, who cares? I'm not the biggest football fan, but I don't mind football. I don't mind it to watch it, but it's NFL, not CFL for me. At least the games are becoming more enjoyable to watch this year. Well, yeah, the team's playing better. Our results are I think last year. I don't know. Last time I checked, we were worse than last year. I don't know if that's changed or we're right around the same. But the team's more fun to watch this year overall. Like overall, it's a little more fun to watch. There's the players are a little bit better, the defense a little bit better. But yeah. And that, at least that, right? And it's fun to watch the progress. It's fun to watch a guy like Slav. In the last month, his development's been amazing. So, yeah. A good 2024 coming. I mean, Doc's not going to be back. Newhook won't be back till probably March. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it matters. It's the season after, the next 2 or 3 seasons that are more important for me. That's what I think we're going to start. Making some progress towards being a playoff team. And then again, you look at how they are now, they're not that far out of a wild card. If Doc is here, if Newhook is still healthy, if they didn't have like even Savard going down after 5 games, we could be a pretty good team. Like, I don't know. It's hard to judge how they're going to be. But I don't expect them to make the playoffs this year or next year, to be honest with you. But next year, it wouldn't shock me if they're healthy all year and nobody gets hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me, but I haven't looked at their numbers, Joe, so I don't know. But the last time I did, which was just a few weeks ago, I think. No, we were not as good. Not by much, but we were not as good as last year, numbers wise and everything, record and all that. Which was a bit surprising because they're much more fun to watch overall. Anyways, it is what it is. As long as we're seeing the progress is there. We're seeing the progress. That's all I care about. They're going to be better next year. They're making that progress. And the players that are coming, like I can't wait to see Hudson hit. We should see him in April. That's going to be exciting. So there's things to look forward to. And then after Doc went down, it was like, oh my God, I was really looking forward to watching Doc all year. But Slav came along and is progressing, and he's made it a lot of fun to watch that first line again. So that's how I see it. So we are roughly about halfway through this show. Got about another 15 minutes. Be back tomorrow. Habs are in Chicago to take on Connor Bedard and the rest of the Chicago Blackhawks. 8:30 start, by the way. And it's also Talking Habs 5th anniversary. So we'll be 5 years old here at Talking Habs. I know I acted. I know. So hopefully you'll join us for that. I will be probably eating a piece of cake in front of you guys. I've got a cake and I'm going to celebrate 5 years. And we might have a few guests join us. 2, one I'm sure of, because I think Harry says he'll be there. JD, Delaney's supposed to be there. So if you remember from the old days, Delaney, Luna might make in the post-game show, and Pete hopefully will make an appearance as well. So we should have a lot of fun. I expect a good game. It's Chicago. I think Montreal could beat them, even on a back-to-back night. So let's hope. It'd be nice if we can pull out points in the first 3 games of the road trip. That would be really nice. Wasn't it December 2022 when that slump happened? Which slump is that now? I'm blanking on which slump you're talking about, Joe. Are we talking about Anderson? Is that what you're talking about? I think for Anderson, it was the last March. All right. Anyway, if you're here, please talk to me here in the chat. Ask some questions. Talk about the game. Anything you want to do. I'm up for it. That's when everybody's going to stay quiet. I don't know what else to say about the damn game. Let's see what I got planned for tomorrow. Do I have anything? I don't know that I have any. I'm trying to make something special. I might write something or make a little poem, something. Last season losses started in. I'm losing you. I don't know what you mean by that. Last season we were shit most of the season. I don't know what slump in particular because we didn't. We didn't have a big losing streak, did we? I don't remember last year. In the last few years, we've had so many 8-game losing streaks. I don't remember when they happened anymore. Sorry if I'm blanking on that. Been a long day. That's all I can say. That's it. Nobody want to talk to me now. Okay, what can I talk about? Christmas is coming up, obviously, Sunday. If you're not doing much and you're home or whatever, I think I'm doing a live stream. I just don't know what time. It's either going to be at 8 or a little later. I don't really know, but 8 or later. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a live stream instead of doing Saturday Hockey Talk because there's no games on Saturday. The Habs actually after Friday go on a 5-day break. So hopefully I'll have people to join me for that. We'll see. It's unknown. Do I think Marty St. Louis will be coached still when the team is competitive? Yes, I do. Or we do. Well, but think about it, conservative lawyer. By the time the team is competitive, he'll be a more experienced coach, won't he? So yeah, I think. I don't see anything wrong with Marty St. Louis coaching. I really don't. Is he perfect? No, but he's new at it, relatively, right? So he's still learning, but I think he's doing a good job. So I think he's growing with the team as well. So I think he's the type of coach, sometimes, okay, team needs, we need a tough kind of coach, right, to crack down. Or we need a players kind of coach who's buddy-buddy with the players or whatever. I think Marty can do both. I mean, I really do. I think he can. He's got the respect of the players. They love him. I see the progress. Slav's progress is directly, you can tie that pretty directly to Marty, so if I'm doing, I'm pretty sure I'm doing one because otherwise, it'll break up the night. I'm literally not doing anything for Christmas, which don't feel bad. That's what I always do. I'm not, I don't get along with my ex-wife's family anymore, really, sort of, I guess. We don't, and so I don't get invited there, which is fine. I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. Oh, yeah. Let's see. We got about 10 more minutes. Let's make it pass quick. By you can watch me sitting here, I guess. I prefer it if somebody talks to me. as people are leaving and they're running out. It's a bit late anyway. So another 10 minutes and I'm going to take off. Just me and Guy. It's just me and Guy, number 10. That's it. Just me and Guy hanging out at Christmas. All right. So you're saying they played well up until December? They went 4-9-1. Usually, I know a lot of times anyway, a lot of years, this road trip that they're on right now, that makes or breaks their season. So if they have a good road trip, they usually do well. And if they don't, it kind of. So, yeah, 4-9-1, yeah, they had a shitty season. So if they have a good road trip, it usually sets them up for like if they come out of this 7-game trip, I want to say like at 500 or better, then they probably got a shot to make a run for the playoffs. I don't think they make it, but I did predict they'll make a run for a certain amount of time, kind of, through January, maybe February, and then they'll drop out. Conservative lawyer, without a doubt, the power play can be better. I'd say this, and maybe they're thinking this too. Let's see what it looks like when Hudson gets here. If it looks better, if it is better, then they're just missing that right power play quarterback, which I think they are. They're missing that power play quarterback. Bucho. I wouldn't. Shane Wright. I don't even think about that guy at all. So I wouldn't change. In our podcast that we recorded last night, we talked about just that. Actually, is that did Montreal get the best 2 picks in the draft? That draft in Slav and Lane Hudson, and I wouldn't. I even though I wanted Shane Wright, but no, I'm glad they didn't pick Shane Wright, and I'm glad we've got Slav. I like what he brings to the table. He's not just a kid with size, but he's got skill, and I'm glad he's a Hab, no doubt about it. And I've never been down on him. Like I had patience. I've talked about patience, and it's paid off now because he's definitely he's providing. He's providing what we thought he should be doing. Maybe even a little more for a 19-year-old kid. It's not even that. I'm not even like. I'm not trying to like come down on Shane Wright at all. I mean, kids develop at their own rate, but it's clear. I think at this point, and I think that'll stay. It'll stay that way. That Slav was the better pick. Slav looks like he was the number 1 pick, legitimately. We'll know in a few more years, but I mean, it looks like he's got the better numbers. Played the most games out of anybody from that draft so far. So far. Shane Wright seems to have a little bit of I don't know if it's temper problem or whatever, but whatever. He's I don't think about Shane Wright anymore because he's not in the organization. Nothing to think about. Slav was the better. I mean, so far, Slav was clearly a better pick, right? But I mean, the book is still out on that, right? Another 3 years, you can safely say. But it looks like he's going to still be there in 3 years because I think Slav in 3 years is going to be pretty damn awesome. And there were some other good picks in that draft. I just think Slav right now legitimately holds that, has earned that number 1 pick so far. And I don't expect it will change, personally. And I'm not lying. Like, when I watch now, like, I'm really excited to see how Slav's going to play, see what he does. So, just on that scale, it was a good pick for any team that, wants an exciting player, a player fans can really get behind, and that's Slavkovsky right there. And man, this kid is under pressure like crazy, not just from us, man, but from his country. He's big news back in Slovakia. They watch his play, they follow him. So he's got a lot of pressure on him, and he's handling it quite well. So. It was a good draft, by the way. 2022 was a good draft. Go and look at the players we got. There was 4, 5, maybe 6 quality players that we got out of that draft. Will they all hit? Maybe not. I kind of think the first 4 will. So they've been drafting well. At least I think so. All right, we're coming to the end. Toronto has shit goalies. You're not kidding. Yeah, listen, it's not that it was unexpected. I don't think it was unexpected that their goalies would be a problem for them. And it turned out to be true. They maybe should have invested a little bit more in the goaltending department than in so much up front in those 4 players. If they would have done that, they'd been a lot better off right now, but they didn't do that. And I, for one, am very happy they didn't do that. Yeah, we have a bunch of players. Okay, but we didn't draft all those guys we got from the 2019 draft. Just Caulfield, Doc, and Newhook we had to trade for. But in 2022, they drafted, 4 of what are going to be the. I don't know if they're going to be 4 top 10 in that draft, but 4 players at the top side of that draft are going to be, that's where they're going to end up, I think. So it was a good draft, 2022. All right. I'm going to take off. So like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll put out a preview video in the afternoon, early afternoon, maybe as early as today. I will be doing the game at 8:30. It's a little bit of a late start, but we'll be celebrating the 5th anniversary of the channel. So hopefully you guys will come back for that. And I hope you had a good time tonight. So that's it. I don't have anything else to add to that. So till tomorrow. Thanks everybody for being here late like this. I appreciate that. And just stay safe out there. Peace out. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Keep your stick on the ice. Go Habs, go. And that's it from Talking Habs. Ciao, everybody.